Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to start this lesson off by giving all honor, praise, and infinite glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rahaha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessing, and salutation to the Akim, to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men that are laboring in this truth, pushing this word in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, peace and blessings to the remnant, the 1/3 of the nation of Israel, consisting of men, women, and children that have repented, turned their hearts back to the Father, keeping the commandments to the best of their abilities, and rehearsing the righteous acts. All right, peace and blessings be unto you and your household. All right, so if you are paying attention to what's going over there in the Middle East, all right, there was a recent attack on Yemen. I believe it's the Yemen by the Houthis or whatever you want to call them, the militants, okay, and they are pretty much taking over the Red Sea, okay, and the Red Sea has a part within that part of the ocean, okay, known as the Suez Canal, which is the Suez Canal is one of the major trading routes of commerce, of goods. You know, cargo ships go through there, transporting, you know, shipments and all those things, right? Now, as you can see, you can kind of see it in this route, or you see the news anchor speaking on it. They cut out, let me see if I can't rewind it, but they pretty much have cut that trading route out of the equation. Therefore, these cargo ships will take a lot longer to get from, you know, the east to the European countries and to the west. Okay, they're going to have to go around the continent of Africa versus just cutting through the Middle East, that Middle Eastern region, okay, next to Egypt and Israel. All right, so it puts a burden or a hindrance to shipments of goods and things of that nature. Now, you ask yourself, why am I even bringing this up? Okay, so the point of the matter is, you got to think about the cost of oil, right? The cost of oil has skyrocketed. You see, now, in order for these ships to get from point A to point Z, obviously they need oil. They need, you know, gasoline and all that. Okay, so if they are having to, if these companies, these corporations or whatever are having to spend more money, all right, to you know, produce more oil, to give more oil to these, you know, these tankers and these, you know, these cargo ships and things of that nature, what does that mean for everybody else? That just means, since the price of oil has gone up, the price of goods will have to go up, because the time that it takes for them to, you know, they got to pay for your time, you know, the you know, the captains of the ships and things of that nature, the crew members. All right, it's not very cost efficient. Therefore, they're going to have to raise the prices of goods, raise the prices of food, you know, your everyday expenses. okay, your furniture, your medicines, your pharmaceuticals. Now I might get a hit for that, but hey, fuck it. Okay, so you got to consider all these things when you see, you know, geopolitics and global, you know, proxy wars. All right, because this is a declaration of war. You see. So I'm gonna read a little bit of this article, and I have a couple precepts that come to mind, but and I'll bring it out through the spirit. But it says IKEA is warning of possible shortages of some of its products as shipping companies bypass the Red Sea, one of the world's busiest trade routes, because of mounting security threats in the region. Okay, security threats. You see, you got pirates. That and pirates don't necessarily just mean what you see on the entertainment. All right, pirates look just like, if you've seen that movie with Tom Hanks, forget what the movie's called, but he was a captain of a cargo ship, and you have some Kushite, all right, Somalian pirates that overtook the boat. All right, they're pretty much locals with militia groups, okay, that's armed, that have speedboats and things of that nature. All right, and they go around terrorizing and threatening these civilian cargo ships. But it says, let me keep reading. It says a number of major container carriers are diverting shipments from a key waterway that leads to the Suez Canal because of a series of attacks on vessels by Houthi militants from their bases in Yemen. Data from freight shipping platform Freightos shows the Iran-backed Houthis, okay, Iran-backed, which means that they're supported by Iran. Okay, our Iran are not our allies. You see. Iran is not our allies. If anything, Iran has been joined unto Russia and the BRICS nations. Now, not officially, but unofficially, they are partners. Okay, they're allies, right? It says the Iran-backed Houthis vowed last month to strike ships it suspects of having Israeli ties in a show of support from Hamas, the Gaza-based militia that has been at war with Israel since its October 7th attack on the country. The situation in the Suez Canal will result in delays and may cause availability constraints for certain IKEA products. The Swedish furniture retailer's parents company, IKEA Group, told CBS Monday Watch on Thursday. Okay, it says, look, more than 20 vessels have come under attack in the Red Sea since mid-November. Right, as a result, 19% of freight is now being diverted from the Suez Canal, the shortest trade route between Europe and Asia. All right, so you see, that's the shortest trade route. Now they have to consider going around Africa entirely, which adds, upwards towards a week or two of trade. Okay, depending on how fast they go, but then the faster you go, the more oil you're burning. So hey, they're trying to conserve, and it's. I mean, at the end of the day, you see where all this is leading up to, man. This is a declaration of war upon Europe, okay? The EU, right? Hey, is not America, all right, sitting upon the beast? You see? Which, in other words, the great whore, which is Babylon, America, sitting upon the beast, NATO, with the 7 heads and the 10 horns. See? Those 10 horns is the European Union, right? Which in other words, they're working all together. Okay? They're working all together. The beast system, the beast as a whole, you know? It says, before recent flurry of attacks in the region, 12% of global trade passed through the Suez Canal, according to U.S. Naval Institute. Right? So the point of the matter is, there's going to be a lot of delays coming up in the near future. Okay? Delays for your household goods, your Pampers, your diapers, your baby food. Remember these things, man. There's also a lot of talk about, you know, the people going on strike because of the pay. They're not getting paid enough. You know, truckers are running into, you know, their issues of transporting, you know, shipment and goods to stores as well. So everything is leading to what, man? This is we see right through these devils and what they're trying to do. Okay? We see exactly what they're trying to do. So let me get the book of Psalm chapter 33. Psalm chapter 33 and verse 10. The Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. Okay? So these devils have a plot in mind, and they're not going to fulfill. It's not going to be fulfilled. Okay? Their goal is to do what? Is to enforce a one world global agenda. Okay? A global agenda to ensue chaos, okay, martial law, and to get everybody to get chipped. Okay? The Lord's going to bring the counsel of these heathens to naught, man. They're not going to fulfill their enterprise. All right? We see right through what these devils are trying to do. But you can see this is going to bring the plagues upon Babylon the Great. The plagues that happen, you know, the famine. All right? It's going to bring a famine to the land. It's going to bring chaos, trials, tribulations. You see? And these people are not ready for what's about to come. All right? Let me get 2nd Ezra chapter 16. I just had it. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse I'll start at verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. You see? Because a lot of these people, not only do these people don't have a week, 2 weeks, a month's worth of food. Okay, what's going to happen when they're not going to get the same amount of groceries that they're typically used to? You usually get a bulk of groceries every 2 weeks or so for your from your paycheck. Okay, well, hey, that's going to get cut down by a great amount, because right now the prices of things are content. Okay, but if the food that's being brought over here, all right, is the shipment times are so delayed, the prices of it is going to go up. You're going to get a fraction of what you're used to buying for your house in order to feed your family. You see? These people can't put two and two together, man. Anybody with two brain cells can rub them together and come up with this conclusion. But that just goes to show how docile and how screwed up these modern day Babylonians really are. Thinking as though, oh, it can never come here. It'll never affect us. Our government will never allow that to happen. Well, I got news for you, Jack. Your government is not for you. If anything, they want to kill you off. They're not here to protect you. It goes back to the Georgia Guidestones when they saying, the earth will be in, pretty much perfect harmony with 500 million people. I saw a video a clip where I forget who he was, but he was an Edomite at one of them, probably like a whistleblower or something, but talking about an EMP or a cyber attack. And if they were to cut the grid off for 9 months, 90% of America's population would die. 90% of them would die. That leaves a 10%, a small remnant, okay? Which would be the people that are in them bunkers and the elect. So you do the math. We have roughly around 370 million, okay, give or take. He said 90% of that leaves about, I don't know, 80 million, 70 million, 60 million people in the earth, or it's like in Babylon. Okay? It's not a lot, man. That's far less than what you're used to seeing. That's barely seeing anybody in the streets. That's why in further down in this chapter, around the 27th verse, it says, let me just get it real quick and I'll come back up. It says, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. You see? So you're going to desire to see another man. You're going to desire to see another person in general. Because famine is going to take over, man. It's going to be a lot of death. All right? People are going to be sent over to the Middle East to fight this war and die. You see? The virgins, the women, the women are going to mourn for their loss, for their husbands. See? Because they're not going to come back. They get sent off to war, they're going to die over there, man. All right? And this chapter goes into that. So let me get back to the point. It says, verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, and the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? You see, this is the beginning of war. This is another war that that's about to break out. Okay, because not only are they affecting, the Europe and Asia trade system, it also affects Babylon and the Western Hemisphere. All right. It says, verse 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. These people are not mindful of these things that are taking place in the earth, man. They pay no mind. They put it behind them, right? They feel as though, it can never, like I said, it can never come here. It'll never affect me, right? Little do you know, it's only a matter of time before, you'll be begging on your knees, crawling back to Esau, all right, to get you something implanted in your head or your hand. You just wait. Verse 21, behold, the victual shall be so good cheap upon the earth, that they should think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion, right? Victuals are cheap right now. Things are cheap. Prices of things are at a stable rate. Yeah, the prices are high, but people are still able to manage. All right? Not to the extent of what they're, accustomed to from, let's just say, 3 to 5 years ago. But it's not nowhere near where it's going. Okay, to get it was a video a while back. I'm not sure. I forget how long ago. Probably about a year ago, when the prices of meat, okay, had gone up. For I would think it was like a steak or something, or whatever. It was hella expensive. You're talking about $30+ for a steak, if not more. It was some outrageous amounts of money for meat, okay, in the markets. All right, outlandish amount. You see, and it's going to be just like that, and even worse. It's a day's wage is going to be you'll be able to barely be able to buy yourself bread. Okay, it's going to take a day's amount of wages in order to get a small piece of food just to survive. Those are the times that we're coming into. It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape shall hunger. Salakia. It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. You see? It's going to be a dark time, man. We're coming into some really dark times. You see? So this is just the beginning of far more grievous encounters with these other heathen nations. Okay? War wasn't prophesied in the Bible just for no reason. These are the things that Yahweh Shai was speaking of. That we were going to hear of wars and rumors of wars. Be not troubled, for this is only the beginning of sorrows. Okay? So this is just another war factor, or another war enticing event that's taking place in the earth. And I felt the need to bring it out, being a watchman for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. And with that, I'd like to give honor, praise, and infinite glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Raha Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone everywhere. Peace, blessing, and salutation to the hopeful elect. And until next time, Shalom.